moves on. As long as the world needs vengeance, survivors will find a way. Always began his letters the same way. Dearest B.
I imagine you are sitting with a cup of coffee, listening to the neighborhood kids play baseball. I know I haven't written for a while. I'm sorry about that. I thought I was protecting you from all this, from the fear. Thing is, it's me that's scared. Scared that one day, these letters may stop entirely. But I'm not scared anymore. I would die for you, Bradley. And dying for the people you love. There are scarier things. All my love. T.
Were forced to fight in a war for which they weren't prepared. But if there's one thing about Gustavo dos Santos, he's always gonna try his luck. Whether it's a night at the casino or a night raiding Nazi intel, you can bet Gustavo's gonna hit the jackpot. Mateo Hernandez doesn't go looking for danger, but when it finds him, he's ready. Pressure is what brings out that diamond underneath. So even in those darkest moments, you can count on Mateo to shine. Florence Carter wasn't allowed to be a combat pilot in the war, so now she rescues people instead. Chopper. She'll never leave anyone behind. She'll always find her way back into the sky. There's a legend of a demon that lies in wait at night. Teeth sharp, claws long, a smile wide and bright. Strong and fast and silent, its terror on display. Fear not if you are human. Monsters are its prey. But its fearsome reputation is a performance for the world, and the demon laughs behind the mask, for she knows she's just a girl. Callum Hendry was made for war. His Highland blood calls him to action. No mercy for his enemies. No limits to what he'll do to win. You mess with Callum Hendry, he'll make a mess of you. Ambush is an effective strategy. No sense in fighting fair when a single trap will do the job. For a Kenner Aloe, the best strategy is to always have a backup plan. The battlefield is a chessboard full of gambits, baits, and snares. Think you're winning 1 second when defeat is just turns away. When you play against a master of the game, they can seal victory in just a few moves. The rest is just playing out the inevitable. Sometimes a helping hand is all you need. Francis Lanakila is that hand for everyone. Barging headfirst into danger is easy when you have the strength of a bull. He's just here for a good time. It takes a lot of patience to do what Lewis Howard does. Patience and a calm, steady hand. Means it's important to remember what calm feels like. The feeling where your hands don't shake and your ears don't ring. Remember that calm feels like home. And that you will live to see it again. Ella Reyes lost everything she loved to the war. What she kept was her father's discipline to fight against oppressors. As long as she's victorious, she keeps the memory of her family. No one gets left behind. But for Daniel Takayatsu, it's not just a rule, it's the rule. No matter how fierce the enemy, how overwhelming the numbers, how dark the day, he's there to make good on a promise. And bring everyone home. A man's whole life is nothing but one moment after another. Jackson. Each moment is a chance to win the fight, to beat the odds, to save the day. Never ask Wade what he's gonna do next, because he's already doing it. Halima Zambardi grew up with the finest things in life. But when that life was taken away, she discovered something richer than wine and gold. To Halima, freedom used to mean doing as she pleased. But now, freedom means doing what is right. You're the hunter. And sometimes, you're the hunted.
Haltet die Köpfe unten! Sie sind überall!
Polina Petrova is always the hunter. Solange Hardwick was an excellent sprinter. She was also excellent at physics, best in her class. She had the perfect life as a student. So perfect that she caught the attention of people that could use her talents. As soon as the war's over, she'll be back. Or so they said. Shigenori Ota was once a servant to the shackles of tyranny. One night, he chose to fight back. Since then, his struggle has never stopped. Until the war ends, it never will. Who you think he's gonna point it at first? Roland Zymet was just conscripted meat for the grinder. Loyal by threat, not choice. Threaten a man's family, you bind him with fear. But kill all he loves. That fear becomes rage. Briggs is always up for a challenge.
Keep pushing! Advance! Go, go, go! Fight cover!
you tell him something's impossible, he'll always prove you wrong. When someone threatens everything you love, you have a choice. Will you bend and yield, or will you rise and stand? Beatrice Mercier made her choice the day she saw her people suffer. Because to live a life of fear is no life at all. A true king fights side by side with his soldiers, his reign defined by courage. Leadership and loyalty sustain each other, each relying on the other's sacrifice. A covenant forged in trust and strengthened by empathy. Like a true monarch, Arthur Kingsley doesn't rule, he leads. Constance Muller lived a life fashioned by the Reich, until she decided on some alterations. You can't change your past, but you can choose how it molds you. With the right chisel, an artist can shape the future. Colonizers spill enough blood to plant their flag, and then wonder why the Tree of Liberty gets a thirst for the stuff. Padmavati Balan despised oppressors and their yoke on her people. For her, casting off the bonds of imperialism was a brutal poetry. She always did have a knack for irony.